first time in history when Nigeria don create better animation cartoon, may I put am like that, una no send me go school. When Nigeria don produce better cartoon in Yoruba language and the cartoon is going viral. First time, not be all those short cartoon. We are talking about full movie cartoon with the graphic and everything. I watched this cartoon. I was amazed. See, people for Nigeria can create this kind of thing. I don't they create. All of them just depend on normal things. They don't know say now visual editing na be the highest editing in the whole wide world now. If you see this thing now, then all those company, Canadian, all those companies for abroad when they create film, most of their product now is visual. They will just dey one wey has create one season film visual, because visual now is taking over the industry. I see this video, I was amazed. This is a good step to start with. Nigeria now don dey create this visual cartoon now, animation. God, I don't want to pronounce that. Animation. So cartoon, keep her like that. So I see I was amazed. This good job. All of now we never see the video. See something.
Next up, we shine our spotlight today on the new Nigerian animation film based on Yoruba mythology, The Satchel. Do enjoy.
A recent survey puts the global value of the animation industry last year at over $270 billion. In Nigeria, the industry is barely emerging and also just made its first feature-length production last year.
Put your trust in me.
Nigeria's film industry, popularly called Nollywood, is regarded as the second most prolific in the world, and gradually it is beginning to pay attention to the big money spinning animation genre. It is gradually morphing from short skits and stories to short films, with the latest being The Satchel, created by Creo. Directed by Nisi Ogulu, the short animated flick, which is based on Yoruba mythology, tells the story of Yoruba deities Obatala and Oduduwa, sons of the supreme being Eledumare, and their battle for the power to create Earth using an all-powerful satchel.
Baba, create their universe, their land, and...
I just think we're in a time now where people are now catching on. So for instance, if you look at the music industry, right? There's always been Afrobeats, there's always been that music, but it's just in recent times that you start to see our entertainers crossing over. So I think because there's much more of a bridge now being formed across the pond, so people are now more interested in what our culture has to offer. So we're now starting to see more about our potential at the same time. So the world is getting more and more ready for different types of content. So those people that have been playing in that field can now see, oh wow, okay, this might be the time that people are going to be willing to consume my content. So let's get something done and let's put it out there, because it's a budding industry. I wouldn't even say that there is an industry per se just yet, but there is a space with some really, really good talent that just needs to be harnessed.
Ayọ̀ mi ti dé, ayọ̀ mi ti wọlé, ayọ̀ mi ti dé, ayọ̀ mi ti wọlé. Èmi rè o, èmi rè o, èmi rè o.
Answer me.
People.
I've always been fascinated by our own culture, our own myths, our own deities, our own gods. Basically, how did we exist? What were our belief systems before Western influences came into play? So that mindset is what took me back to researching and understanding, more about our own rulers, as you may like to term it. So I came up with a list essentially of several deities, gods, orishas, as the Yorubas would say, and sat down with the team, the writer as well, and decided to go with the story of Oduduwa and Obatala and adapt it.
Father has given me the power to create a beautiful new world for you all. Feast and enjoy.
On the project, the multi-talented Nisi, who's also an emerging alternative fusion singer and sibling to Nigeria's multiple Grammy nominee Burna Boy, wore many hats. She took on co-production roles alongside 3 other producers and played 3 characters, Dotun, a child singer, and twin boys in the production.
Being very familiar with creating music and singing and songwriting, I'm used to being able to know what texture of voice to apply to certain phrases. So if I'm saying something and I want my listener to receive it in a calm mood, I would know how to texture my vocals or how I deliver it. Is it more breathy? Is it more strong? Essentially. So for me, deep diving into the technicalities were not the problem. Now, all you have to do is put yourself in the shoes of your character. Think about what that character represents, who the character is. So Dotun is a strong African woman that is in love with this deity. So you have to have strength in your voice, but also be able to show concern at the same time. So those were the 2 things that came to the forefront for me. I could never sound too girly because she's not that. And I couldn't lose sight of the fact that she has a soft side by not representing it by being too firm and too quick to respond. So you have to depict that understanding, but at the same time depict that she can hold her own. Then for the young girl, it was more exciting because it just took me back to my young days. I mean, I've been singing since I was 4 years old. So all I had to do is revert back in my mind to that time and, try to position myself there once again. That then it was fun. It was just fun. I just remember and I do this a lot. I always mess around with voices. So it was fun.
It will be so good, so good. It makes me feel like saying, I do everybody say,
Arinze Onia, who is the character modeler and creative project manager, explains the need to produce quality content for animation, speaks on how power constraints in the country caused the movie to take about 2 years to produce.
I don't think people have actually worked on projects of this magnitude. We had to get people to, to punch above their weight, you understand? So people are used to, like personally, okay, I'm used to just having to model characters, not paying attention to some details. But in this project, I had to pay attention to a lot more, knowing that the market, knowing that the video was going to go far and beyond. So obviously, there are scarce resources. There are not much 3D animators out there that can actually produce what we are looking for. Because to be honest, we intend to, going forward, we tend to be able to match up with the Disneys of America, and obviously the Nigerian factors of electricity and all that. So it was quite tough, but I'm happy we were able to finish.
We just see the video. So next one, Mona just keep on with the good work. Very, very soon now, they create more important thing. What I even want for learning one film, I want me that they use visual effects, Man, be the one dem wan spirit go dey waka dey go for road, motor go jam spirit. Make dem dey use better visual effects. Make dem invest on green screen. Nothing like green screen effect. Make dem try to dey work on green screen, their green screen well. Your outfit go be like say birds dey fly, go be like say na hands dey take hold the person for up, e go dey shake. Try to invest. Now this kind of thing, na dey good. You know how much country dey get for this cartoon a year? How much revenue dem dey get? No be billions of naira wey dem dey get. Na everything na only one. Make dem still dey invest on separate thing like all this cartoon, because most children now, their parents no dey gree make dem dey watch all those things, but cartoon now is very close to children. It's like, I don't know wetin dem take do am. Cartoon children, it's like they are one. You understand? Go to the next news.